today's session, I'm going to be talking about the one thing that we all struggle with as woodworkers, and something that I've struggled with too, and I still struggle with every now and that is sawdust and how to control it because it gets everywhere. Now, I've partnered with Woodworking for Beginners. It's a really supportive and great group and woodworking community that you can find on Facebook. If you haven't joined the group yet, I strongly suggest that you do. If you look in the video description below, you'll see a link that you can click on to join that Facebook group. In addition to that, you'll also find a link to my personal YouTube channel in the event that you want to see what it is that I'm working on. Now, let's get into figuring out how we can control this sawdust and try to stop it from getting everywhere. So as I mentioned, one of the things that we all really struggle with is dust collection in the shop. Now, for me, I didn't have a dust collector, nor did I have the resources to get a dust collector, especially one that was going to be powerful enough that it could use on all of the different tools that I have. And not only that, but I really didn't want to spend the money on a dust collector simply because I would rather spend the money on tools, as I'm sure, a lot of us would rather do. But the one thing that I did have is I had a shop vac. And so I had thought to myself, how is it that I can use the shop vac to collect dust? So of course, what I initially did with the bag inside the shop vac is I started using it to suck up all of the sawdust that I was using on the different tools. The one challenge I found with that is the bag filled up so quickly. And every time the bag was full, I'd have to put a new bag on. I could empty the existing bag, but it's really difficult to try and get anything out of there. So I had thought to myself, well, what's a little bit of a better option? Perhaps a way that I could use my shop vac where I don't have to worry about having the bag inside the vacuum itself, but rather use it for suction and the filter to keep anything out of the motor, while at the same time being able to collect the dust. And so I did a lot of research online, and what I found a lot of information about was cyclone dust separators. Now, there's all kinds of different brands and different price points, and some are really expensive, some are super cheap. And I thought to myself, well, I don't want to spend a ton of money on this, but I want something that's going to work. And so I happened to be in the local Home Depot one day, and I came across this right here. Now, this is just simply a lid that goes onto a regular size bucket. This is, I believe it was made by a company called Dust Stopper, I believe it was. But this does the exact same thing as a lot of these other cyclone separators, where the shop vac pulls air through the top of the lid here, through this pipe right here. And then this is the pipe that you would use to actually extract dust from the machine. Right, and what it does, it creates the suction going up, and where this feeds in, it creates kind of a circular effect that allows the dust to fall down into the bin here without actually being sucked into the vacuum hose. So when I first got it, I did a test on it, and I was actually very surprised. I took the bag out of the shop vacuum, and then I hooked up this system. And then once I did that, I realized that I was getting very, very little into my actual shop vac itself. So I thought this was perfect, right? What I came across as the next challenge was portability, because I had my shop vac here rolling around on the floor. Then I had to try and connect it to the dust stopper here, which is connected to this bucket. And the challenge with that was, especially when it's empty or even when it's close to full, the bucket's very light. So as I would move this hose here on different angles, it would actually tip the bucket over. And it got really, really frustrating for a little while. So I thought to myself, I have to come up with some sort of solution to make this portable. And so that's when I made this cart. Now, what you'll see is, what you'll notice is that this is not the fanciest cart in the world, and it doesn't have to be, but it absolutely works as far as portability is concerned. So what I did is I've got enough space on the bottom here for my shop vac to sit. And right now it is currently on wheels. I do have to remove the wheels there so that way it stays stationary, and that's fine. That's something we can do afterwards. The other alternative is just, of course, blocking it in. I put that on the bottom, and then all I did was take a sheet of plywood on the top, in this case, just a half-inch sheet of plywood that I happen to have lying around. And I took a piece of scrap wood, or not scrap, but leftover. I don't like the term scrap. Something that was about 9 inches long. I put a nail through the center of it at one point. I found the center of this board. And then when I found the center of the board, I needed to measure the diameter of this ring under here, of this, just underneath the lip here. So that way, when this thing falls down into here, it will sit on this lip. And so what I did is I set the piece up with with the center, with a nail sticking through right in the middle. And then I drilled a hole at the outer part, which was half the diameter of this. And then I simply used that and went around and drew a line, and then used a jigsaw to cut it out. When you build something like this, the important thing to know is this circle doesn't have to be perfect. I literally did this with just a jigsaw. It only has to be enough so that way this can slide in and seat properly, as you can see right here with this lip around all edges. Okay, with that, the really nice part about it having it sit in a cart like this is, especially because I'm using these rigid hoses that have a little clip here on the end, I can go like this and pull it along with me if I need to. So it's nice and stable. As far as the rest of the construction on this, I used a simple pine that I've had drying in my my lean-to outside for a few years now. And all I did was cut some verticals to it, cut some 45 braces, or some braces at a 90-degree angle here and a 45-degree angle here, in order to provide it with some stability. And then I used the same thing for the bottom, just a piece of half-inch plywood that I had. And in addition to that, I had 4 caster wheels that were left over from an old stand that I used to have my planer on, and I didn't have any real purpose for them. And so I just had them sitting as spare parts, which is really important for anybody who works in the shop. It's always a good idea to keep spare parts for everything, because you never know what you're going to need when. I simply took the wheels and I drilled a hole right here through the half-inch plywood on the corners, and I put the bolt of each of those right all the way through, and then put a washer and a nut in there just to hold them. And now it glides just beautifully. So it's really, really handy to have. The other thing that I did as a little bit of an extra on the back side of this is just using some, again, this was some of the pine that I had, some glue and some brad nails. I glued a couple pieces, very similar to these here, sticking out from this post right here, and then I put a piece across the front. That way I could wrap my cord around this as a handle. These pieces up here, these were intended to hold the different attachments that I might have. And so I don't have them on here right now just because I was using them for other purposes. But it was literally just to keep them upright like this, with just enough, if I've got smooth movement, for these not to fall off. And that's all it was. And I may redesign those down the road. But it works great. This here, the only thing that this cost to make, I think, was about $30 for this piece here, this dust stopper, and about $6 for the bucket. I already had the shop vac, but how this works is absolutely phenomenal, and I'll show you here. I'm going to take this hose, and I'm going to take our attachment and put it over here, and this is a previous bucket that I had filled up using this, and so I got 2 buckets, always a good idea. This is a bucket that I previously filled up. I'm going to show you exactly what this can do. And then after I do that, we're going to take the shop vac out, and I'm going to show you the residual sawdust that's actually making its way into the vacuum itself. While you might notice that there will be some, there's not going to be a ton. So I've only got a little bit of dust in here, but let's give this a try, okay? All right, so just that little bit of vacuuming, and I was able to get a lot of that that dust off the top, which is absolutely phenomenal. So when you're using a cyclone like this, you're not losing a ton of suction, which is really good. Now, let's have a look at the actual vacuum itself to see what's left in there. So I'm going to disconnect that hose, and I'm going to disconnect the other hose that goes into our dust stopper here. I'm just going to pull this out to have a quick look. And so if we look inside, got a little bit of dust in there, but not very much. Now this is also an older filter, so we've got a little bit that's collected on the filter itself, which is fine. These filters, you pop them off and you can blow them out and then reuse them again. For this particular rigid vacuum, the blue filters are actually washable. So you can blow them out, you can take them inside, wash them off, and reuse them. But it's not really a bad result considering the fact that we don't have to put a bag in there. The downfall with this is you will have to, depending on how much dust you're generating, you will have to replace this or empty this every now and then, but that's easy. You can pop this lid right off, nice and easy, and then just dump it into a bag. And dump it into a clear bag. You can recycle it, use it for all kinds of different things. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a tutorial on what was my solution for dust control, and I hope that this is going to give you some sort of ideas that you might be able to use in your shop, especially if you don't have a dust collector, you don't have the money for a dust collector, the space for it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with using a shop vac. This is only one idea of a cyclone separator. I've seen a lot of reviews on this. Some are good, some are bad. My review of this is it's been absolutely amazing, and it makes it a lot easier than rather than having to change a vacuum bag. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short video tutorial of what is my dust collection system, and I really hope that it gave you some ideas on what you might be able to do with yours, right? Use a big shop vac, a small shop vac, it doesn't matter. It just needs the suction power. Using a standard 2.5-inch hose, you can get adapters for different sizes of tools, so there's all kinds of options. All right. Now, thank you for watching, and if you could like this video, that would be great, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you get notified when new videos come out. In addition to that, don't forget to check out the link down in the description to my personal woodworking channel, which is Weekend Woodworking 925. All right, got lots of great videos on there as well, and you'll be able to see some of the other projects that I've been working on. All right, we'll see you next time.